Hey guys, Sir Michael Singleton here with We the Free. This is really important, especially if you live in Virginia. Several major gun bills have just passed the Virginia General Assembly, and they are now headed to the governor's desk. And when these things are signed into law, and it's not an if, it is a when, these bills will dramatically change gun ownership in the firearms industry in Virginia. And if you don't live in Virginia, I promise you it is coming for you next. So let me break down what this is all about. One bill, Senate Bill 727, would ban carrying or transporting practically many of the commonly owned firearms on public property. That includes semi-automatic rifles and pistols with features like magazines over certain capacities, folding stocks, the ability to accept suppressors, and other common configurations. This means that the definition of the bill would affect many commonly owned firearms used for lawful purposes. So if you're a lawful gun owner like I am, you more than likely will be impacted by this nonsense. Then there are two other bills, Senate Bill 27 and House Bill 21, which both targets the firearms industry itself. These bills will create new responsible conduct, as they're calling them, basically requirements for manufacturers, distributors, and retailers. Basically, businesses would have to implement what the law describes as reasonable controls over how firearms are made, marketed, sold, and distributed. Now, you're probably wondering, well, Michael, what does this mean? Well, the legislation basically opens the door for lawsuits. And the Attorney General, local government, even private individuals could potentially bring civil action against firearms companies. That is not a good thing, because I promise you guys, somebody's going to test this out with the goal of shutting down as many gun companies as they possibly can, starting right here in Virginia. This bill would expose gun companies to lawsuits designed to financially cripple them and the entire industry writ large. And then there's another bill. I know there's more. House Bill 40, which addresses homemade firearms. Now, if you're like me, who doesn't like tinkering? As men, that's what we like to do. Well, this legislation would prohibit manufacturing firearms without serial numbers and ban possession of transfer of unserialized firearms. So if you're into the 3D printing stuff, that is over. The bill would impact individuals who previously purchased an unfinished frame or receiver before the law takes effect. So basically, if you got that in your house, throw it out, man, because you might effectively become a felon because of that bill. All of these bills have passed the legislature. They're merely waiting for the governor to sign them, and she is going to sign them. So whether you live in Virginia or not, we urge you to contact the governor's office and make your voices heard. Call the number on the screen. We'll also include that number in the description below, because the more of us who stand behind the Second Amendment in Virginia, we can also serve as a roadblock in states all across the country. Simply put, these bills represent a major moment for gun policy in Virginia and the rest of the United States. So stay informed, and for more Second Amendment news, analysis, coverage, follow us here at We the Free at WTF.tv, your #1 destination for unfiltered firearms content. And if you're like me, you want to get back to shooting. So let's go.